Pope Francis writing a special message about Saint Francis de Sales? There have been reports that on December 28, Pope Francis will publish an apostolic letter on Saint Francis de Sales, the priest and bishop who taught against errors and encouraged holiness for all. December 28 will mark the 400th anniversary of Saint Francis de Sales' death in 1622. And though Pope Francis has said little about the saint until now, an apostolic letter would be an excellent opportunity for the Pope to repropose to the world this model of meekness, as he called him in January 2018. Here are some things to know about Saint Francis de Sales. Saint Francis de Sales was a gentleman by birth and education, but that is not what earned him the nickname of the gentleman saint. The saint earned that title through his reputation for gentleness of heart. He was the oldest child of a noble family in the Duchy of Savoy, now southeastern France. As a young man, he received an excellent education in preparation for a political career. But his heart was set on practicing religious celibacy as a Catholic priest, despite his father's desire for him to have an important career in marriage. Francis de Sales was ordained in 1593 after signing over his title in succession to his younger brother. He was an intelligent and well-liked person. Besides studies in France, he completed his education in Padua, Italy, with doctorates in civil and canon law. In 1602, de Sales was named Bishop of Geneva, Switzerland, at the age of 35. Throughout his life, one of the saint's prominent qualities was his spiritual meekness. A popular quotation attributed to Saint Francis de Sales is that a spoonful of honey attracts more flies than a barrelful of vinegar. Saint Francis de Sales wrote to laypeople about controlling one's temper. He apparently had a lot of experience doing so, as his biographers say he was naturally strong-willed and easily angered. Because of his own shortcomings, from childhood de Sales chose to focus on practicing the virtue of meekness. Francis de Sales was friends with another canonized saint, Jane Frances de Chantal. Together they started a women's religious community, the Order of the Visitation of Holy Mary, in Annecy in 1610. De Sales and de Chantal wanted to start a community open to older women and women unable to join more austere orders. Feast day is January 24th. Saint Francis de Sales' feast day is not celebrated on the day of his death, as it is for many saints, but on the day his remains were buried in the church of the Monastery of the Visitation in Annecy, France, in 1623. The bishop, only 55 years old, had died suddenly of a stroke while visiting Lyon, France, on December 28, 1622. Francis de Sales was canonized by Pope Alexander VII in 1665, just over 42 years after his death.